Hey friends, welcome back. Now, last time we imported the data, we also create our facts table, so basically our combination of the three sales tables. And now there's one additional table which is missing, which is very, very important, especially if you work with any kind of time intelligence functions. Like for instance, you want to compare sales regarding the current year and the prior year. So that's the dates table, exactly. So we need a dates table. So we already have, if you take a closer look in the sales table, of course, an order date column. However, it is best practice, and this is something I would highly recommend you always do, to import a separate dates table in Power BI, which you can then use in order to create any kind of time-related calculations. To do this, I already prepared something for you, which is here, which looks like that. So yes, this should quite intimidating, I guess so, that's true. But let's actually explore what this is. And I encourage you, it's quite easy to use. So this is actually M code. It is a function which is already written for you, which you can use anytime. So also for all your future reports, you can always refer to this specific text file here, which you can download from the resource section and just copy paste it in your report. So if you don't want to learn M, you don't have to do that. And by the way, M is the query language. So M is the language used in the Power Query editor. Now, how do we create our dates table regarding this? First, you need to open this file. And as I said, you can download it from the resource section. Then what you do is you simply press Ctrl A to copy everything of the function, and then press Ctrl C to copy it. And then you go to your Power BI model, so our current model. I go to the query editor because here I need to insert this function. And the way this works is you click on Home, and under Home there is this New Source option. The new source, if you click here and you go to Blank Query, because you want to write your own M code, you can click this option here. And then you need to click on, inside the Home tab here as well, under Query Options, the Advanced Editor. So if you click here, then you see there is some default syntax in here, which you can get rid of. You don't need this, just remove it. And then press Ctrl V to paste the code. If it's successful, you can see that quite easily, because then it should tell you no syntax errors have been detected. So then you click on Done. And as soon as you do this, because this is a function, it can be quite easily seen because a function always has some parameter list in here, and then this arrow here. And then if you click on Done, you invoke the function here, like that. Now it's available in here. And you can enter here your parameters. So you can give it a start date, an end date, and also there's a financial year start month. So for instance, if your fiscal year starts in July, for instance, you would enter a 7 here. But for me, it would be a 1 because I want to start in January. And there's also an optional field to choose a column here from a holiday table. So if you have a table with specific holidays, you also want to have included in the dates table, you can also choose a column from a holiday table, which you need to import first. So it's quite extensive, but to keep it easy, as you've seen, you only need to copy paste the complete function inside there as a new query. So as a blank query in this case. And then you can specify the start, the end date, and the financial year start month. So in my dataset, I have data from 2020 to 2022. That is why, in order to cover all the dates, I want to say I want to start at the 1st of January in 2020. And I want to end here at the 31st of December in 2022. Like that. And my financial year start month, it's optional, so by default it's 1, but I simply put in a 1 here as well. And then what I do is I click on Invoke to invoke the function. Click on Invoke. And now you see there's a new table created, which is our dates table, which is this one here. So you've seen that just copy pasting the query, then enter the data range or the date range you want to cover, and then invoke the function. It's quite easy, right? So there's no need to be an M expert for doing this. And now what I would like to do, of course, is rename this directly. So I can these are my dates. So I call this dates, press enter, and you see that now I got my table. And I also want to drag this inside my model in here. So drag it up, so it's also available in the relevant tables for the model. Now for this dates table, it's quite extensive. That is why I think this is really, really helpful, especially also for all your future projects. As I said, you can always use it. It contains now here one column, which is called date, which contains exactly all the dates starting in the 1st of January 2020 up to the last day in 2022. So that's exactly what this date column covers, and that's the most important column in this whole dates table. But beside this, we have additional columns which we can use. For instance, the year here, the quarter, the month, and so on. So all these columns are available. Also the month name. In this case, for me, it's German here because of my current location of Power BI, but this of course would be displayed in your native language. And if you scroll to the right, you would see additional columns, like for instance, the weekdays here. Again, apologize for that, this is German, but you would see that in your native language, which you can also use then to slice and dice your data. For instance, I'm only interested in sales which happens on a weekday and not on the weekend, or the other way around. I can filter my data based on this column, which is now available for me, right? Simply by creating this dates table. And there are additional fields in here, as you can see here, ISO day, week, and so on, and also additional fields like financial year and so on. So everything is available here, which is quite helpful and can all be used in the model. So that's it actually for importing this table. So using this quite complex expression of M, but you only need to copy paste it. You don't need to understand everything which is done here for each of the steps. But if you want to dive deeper into that, then of course feel free to do this. So that's basically what we need to do and create our dates table. Now also, just let me highlight this for you. All the steps we do here by simply clicking on icons here are actually also transformed under the hood into M code. So for instance, if I take a closer look at my sales table, which we have created, and I also go to the advanced editor, if I click here, then you'll see that here, that's basically the steps which have been done here. Using the table.combine, this is a function in M, we combined here the sales 2022, 21, and 20. So also steps in here are actually happening, but of course for us, it's much easier to work with the interface here by simply click on append queries, what we have done when we selected the tables. But under the hood, the steps, so all our clicks here are transformed into M code. And finally, one additional thing, just in case you're wondering, okay, why did we actually import this dates table? I said already it's best practice to do that, but why do we do this? Well, the reason why you want to do this is the following. In our sales table here, we have an order date. However, this order date is not, does not contain all the dates. So that means, for instance, we have sales on the 23rd of, in this case, February 2022, maybe on the 24th as well. But we cannot guarantee that each day during the whole period which we cover sales is available. So let's say there was a holiday which we did not sell any products, for instance. And whenever you have dates inside your model where you can't be sure that you really have the whole dates table, so the whole date range covered, there are maybe single days which are missing. If that is the case, then if you use this specific column when you create any kind of time intelligence functions, so time functions using DAX, then it might be the case that you get wrong numbers. And that's the reason why you want to be sure that you have a complete date range. And this can be always can be ensured if you use a separate dates table. And that is why this is so powerful and so very important. That's why, please just keep that in mind. It's best practice, always use a separate dates table in your model. And here, the one I've shown you here and how to use it, how to import it, quite easy, can be used for all your future Power BI projects, okay? And of course, feel free to use it. So that's it for this video. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you were able to follow along. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.